the great expanse of space, and Earth, documenting its history. A tremendous drama once unfolded here, lasting for 160 million years, and involving the largest and most powerful animals the Earth has ever seen, the great dinosaurs. We are now entering into the mysterious age of the dinosaur.
Hi, my name is Lolo. Welcome to the Magical Saurus Tour. I'll be your guide on this exciting journey. First, let me tell you something about my age, the age of dinosaurs. Look at this. It shows you the history of the Earth, from its birth to the time you live in. This is the birth of the Earth some 4.5 billion years ago. And this is your age, the modern age. The dinosaurs lived right around here, a time called the Mesozoic era. The Mesozoic era lasted about 160 million years, from 225 to 65 million years ago. Man is only supposed to have been on the Earth for approximately 4 million years. So you can see that the dinosaurs were around for a very long time indeed. The Mesozoic era is divided into 3 periods. The time between 225 to 200 million years ago is called the Triassic period. The period between 200 and 135 million years ago is known as the Jurassic period, followed by the Cretaceous period, which lasted until 65 million years ago. in the Magical Saurus Tour. Each of the 3 periods is also divided into early or lower and late or upper periods. So, there are actually 6 periods in all. Now, let's look at the Earth in each of those periods. During the Lower Triassic period, there was only one enormous continent called Pangaea. As more and more magma surged up from inside the Earth to the surface, this continent underwent gradual change. This is the Upper Triassic period. And this is the Lower Jurassic period. Can you see the crack forming? This is the Upper Jurassic period. Now, look at the Lower Cretaceous period. You can see the outlines of the continents as they appear today, just beginning to emerge. During the Upper Cretaceous period, all the modern continents have now begun to take form. It took another 65 million years for the continents to assume their present shapes. Now the Earth looks very familiar, doesn't it? During the long Mesozoic era, the dinosaur evolved into many different forms and spread throughout all the continents. The evolutionary process is shown in this family tree. To date, fossils of some 750 separate species have been found. But in all honesty, I can't tell you how many different dinosaurs lived and died in that faraway age. That's all for the moment. If you have any additional questions, simply select the Lolo icon. Now, please follow me. And have a good time on the Magical Saurus Tour. Magical Saurus Tour. Moving dinosaurs can easily be viewed in the period and area where they live. Detailed information on a particular dinosaur can be called up by its name. The genealogical and evolutionary diversity of dinosaurs is visible on the family tree. Sections can be selected from a table of contents and read page by page like a book. This is a variety box. What's in it is a surprise. This is a variety box. What's in it is a surprise. This is the ending. It also explains theories about the extinction of the dinosaurs.
The top 3 heavyweight contenders. Tied for the 3rd spot are Cetiosaurus, Antarctosaurus, and Rabacosaurus. The fossil fragments that have been found of these behemoths indicate that each easily weighed more than 50 tons. The 2nd heaviest contender, Brachiosaurus. Brachiosaurus blanchi probably weighed more than 80 tons and remains the largest dinosaur ever found in full. The champion heavyweight, Ultrasaurus. Ultrasaurus mackintoshi, found in Colorado in 1979, is estimated to have weighed an amazing 130 tons. There are those scientists, however, who believe it is simply an exceptionally large Brachiosaurus rather than a new variety. The top 3 longest dinosaurs. Number 3 is Ultrasaurus, 100 feet long. Known for its sheer size, it also ranks number 3 in length. Number 2, Seismosaurus. Found in New Mexico in 1980, the Seismosaurus is estimated to have been 120 feet long. And number 1, Supersaurus. The fossil of a dinosaur found in Colorado in 1988, believed to be Supersaurus, is calculated to have been 140 feet long, even though it was evidently a juvenile dinosaur. It was fairly light for its size, however, weighing only about 30 tons. The longest dinosaur specimen that can actually be seen anywhere is of a Diplodocus. At a length of 88 feet, the Diplodocus carnegie in Pittsburgh is the longest dinosaur on display anywhere. The 3 tallest dinosaurs. Number 3 is Brachiosaurus. The only fully assembled framework at Humboldt University in Berlin. 39 feet tall, is also the tallest of all known fossil remains. Number 2 in height is Supersaurus. In its normal stance, Supersaurus stood 50 feet tall. Standing on its hind legs, however, it may have reached a height of 65 feet. And number 1 is Ultrasaurus. Ultrasaurus is also the largest dinosaur in sheer size. In height, it stood 65 feet tall, or as high as a 5-story office building. The strongest meat eaters. Number 3, Allosaurus. Allosaurus is frequently cited for its strength. The largest were 50 feet long and weighed 3 tons. The number 2 carnivore is Tarbosaurus. A leading Asian carnivore, some tarbosaurs measured 40 feet tall and weighed as much as 5 tons. The most powerful flesh eater of all, Tyrannosaurus. The largest of its kind, Tyrannosaurus rex measured 45 feet in length and 7 tons in weight. It was the most powerful carnivore on Earth, with the most advanced combative skills. Although outside the ranking, Deinonychus is also worth mentioning. Relatively small, only about 13 feet tall and weighing less than 220 pounds. It was nonetheless highly intelligent, hunting its prey in organized packs. It made its kill by wielding powerful claws with great agility. All in all, Deinonychus may have been the most effective hunter of all the dinosaurs. The three smallest dinosaurs. Number 3 is Compsognathus. Compsognathus longipes was just under 2 feet long and weighed less than 4 pounds, about the size of an average chicken. Some believe it had a tail, however, that might have been as much as 3 feet long. The second smallest dinosaur, Lagosuchus. Lagosuchus talampaiensis was approximately 20 inches long and weighed less than half a pound, the smallest of the adult dinosaurs. Number 1 is Musaurus. The juvenile Musaurus patagonicus found in Patagonia was a mere 8 inches long. The eggs found alongside were little more than a ½ inch long. So it seems likely that Musaurus was very small, even when fully mature. The 3 fastest dinosaurs. Number 3 is Ornithomimus. It is the leading representative of the ostrich-like dinosaurs. And, like today's ostrich, may have been capable of speeds between 35 and 40 miles per hour. The second fastest dinosaur, Dromiceiomimus. It too had legs eminently suited for high-speed running. The leg structure indicates that it might have been able to run as fast as 40 or 50 miles per hour. The fastest dinosaur, Gallimimus. This largest of the ostrich dinosaurs measured almost 15 feet long. In brief dashes, it may have achieved speeds of more than 50 miles an hour. The 3 smartest dinosaurs. 2 dinosaurs are tied for second place, Dromaeosaurus and Deinonychus. Both belong to the suborder Deinonychosauria. Both had relatively large brains, with indications of superior intelligence. Fossil finds of Deinonychus, for example, indicate that it formed hunting packs. The smartest dinosaur, Saurornithoides. Also called Stenonychosaurus, it had the largest brain of any dinosaur relative to its body size, and was more intelligent than the mammals of the late Cretaceous period. Had it continued to evolve, it might have become a sort of dinosauroid with a highly advanced level of intelligence. Placodus is a placodont, meaning flat teeth. A marine reptile, it lived during the Triassic period. Mastodonsaurus was an enormous amphibian. Its head alone measured almost 4 feet long.
The Proto-Avis is believed to be the first bird that ever appeared on Earth. Its body was adapted for flying and is virtually identical to that of modern birds. It must have flapped its wings, gliding swiftly through the air, while circling over the heads of the dinosaurs below. During the Middle and Upper Triassic period, about 200 million years ago, the European continent was very hot, with distinct dry and rainy seasons. Herds of these plant-eating plotosaurs are believed to have crossed the desert with the arrival of the dry season in search of food. The trek must have been arduous and dangerous, since the fossils of those that died have been found in such large numbers. During the same Triassic period, many reptiles other than dinosaurs adapted to life in the sea. Nothosaurus was one such animal. It dove through the ocean and swam skillfully with its webbed limbs, probably preying on fish. Eventually, these seafaring reptiles grew even more well-adapted to the water and evolved into Ichthyosaurus, Greek for fish lizard. The fish-like ichthyosaur swam the seas while dinosaurs ruled the land. The oldest ichthyosaur in the world is the Utahzoosaurus. It was given the name Utahzoo because the first fossil of this ancient animal was found at Utahzoo in the Miyagi Prefecture of Japan. in 1979. Since its limbs and tail had not yet fully developed into fins, the Utapsusaurus was probably not a great swimmer. Lagosuchus doesn't look very much like a dinosaur, but it's believed to be one of the oldest species nonetheless. Lagosuchus means rabbit crocodile in Latin. As its name implies, it had long hind legs, similar to those of hares or rabbits. They probably hopped on their hind legs to catch insects and small animals. The Cynognathus is a reptile too, although it doesn't look much like one either. In fact, other members of the same species had already begun to evolve into mammals. Because its skull has striking similarities to that of a modern dog, they called it Cynognathus, or dog jaw. Its body was probably covered with fur, which it groomed or cleaned with its tongue, just like today's dogs.
A thecodontian, the large water-dwelling Mystriosuchus had a long snout resembling that of the modern crocodile. This is Thernaxodon, a considerably advanced mammal-like reptile. It may have curled up while sleeping to conserve body heat.
The ancestors of dinosaurs are reptiles called thecodontians, distinguished mainly by the way they walk. They can be characterized by their widely spread legs and sprawling posture, whereas dinosaurs were able to stand fully erect. Styracosaurus is thought to be the first dinosaur that could stand on its hind legs. But it appears they couldn't do it very well yet. Welcome to the Magical Saurus Tour. This tour starts from the Lower Triassic period. Choose the desired location you want to visit with the direction key and press button 1. Now, you will see a panorama of that geographical area. Scroll the screen with the direction key until you find the dinosaur you want to see. Scroll the direction key to that dinosaur and press button 1. Animated film can be viewed after the ammonite cursor changes into the animation icon. If the cursor has changed into the dictionary icon, then the page number with more detailed information on that dinosaur will appear. Before proceeding to the next selection, we turn to Area Select and choose either the left or right arrow with the direction key. Now it's time to go, but I'll be with you. Coelophysis was a slim, nimble carnivore with hollow bones. Fossil remains of this dinosaur have been found in both North and South America, with small bones of the same species inside. This caused some to think that it may have eaten almost anything that moved, including its own young.
This is Cuniosaurus. One of the first lizards on Earth, it was able to glide through the air.
The ocean-dwelling Nothosaur gradually transformed its legs into fins and emerged as the plesiosaur. Nothosaurs swam clumsily, using their legs like paddles. Plesiosaurs could swim quite fast, flapping first their front, then rear fins. During the age of dinosaurs, the skies were ruled by pterosaurs, which had evolved from land dinosaurs. Eudimorphodon was discovered in an upper Triassic soil stratum in Italy and is believed to be the oldest form of pterosaur. Paleontologists think it dove into the water to catch fish and may have been able to glide across the surface like a duck.
This is the amphibian Parachycrotosaurus. Most likely, however, it spent most of its life in the water, rarely venturing on land. Moosaurus, the smallest dinosaur discovered to date, measured only about 8 inches long when fully grown.
At first glance, Syntarsus resembles a chicken, but it was actually a full-fledged carnivore. Several close cousins of the Syntarsus were probably covered with feathers too. They must have raised quite a ruckus when fighting other animals, leaping, biting, and scattering feathers all around. Dinosaurs are actually divided into two basic groups, or orders, Ornithischia and Saurischia. And Lesothosaurus is said to be the most primitive species of Ornithischia. The majority of Ornithischians were plant eaters with well-developed jaws and teeth for chewing. But the Lesothosaurus's eating utensils were so primitive that it probably had a hard time grinding up its food. Dinosaurs are actually divided. Shunosaurus was a small Middle Jurassic sauropod, or four-legged plant eater, that lived in large numbers in what is now China. One Shunosaur, named Shunosaurus ilias, had a club-like tail with a pair of short spikes. It could swing its tail as a weapon against fierce, flesh-eating dinosaurs. The Wyangosaurus is the oldest dinosaur so far, of which fossils have been found in China. The armored dinosaurs are commonly thought to be slow, dim-witted plant eaters. But they may actually have been quite nimble and capable of rapid movements. Skeledosaurus was one of the first ornithischians to evolve from a biped, an animal that walks on two legs, to a quadruped that walked on all four. It was so large and heavy that it probably had to use all four legs, except when feeding on taller plants. Except for the bony plates on its back, with which it protected itself, Skeledosaurus would have been easy prey for the carnivorous dinosaurs. Among the many reptilian sea dwellers, Ichthyosaurus may have adapted best to life in the ocean. Instead of laying eggs on land, they hatched them inside their bodies and bore their young in the sea. There are fossil remains of a female ichthyosaur with a baby halfway out of the mother's body. Mamenchisaurus had a neck that measured almost 35 feet, or about half as long as its body. Dinosaurs related to the lightweight Diplodocus could allegedly stand on their hind legs and tail. Mamenchisaurus may have been able to achieve this feat too. It may have even been able to reach as high as the gigantic Brachiosaurus.
Tianshanosaurus was first found in the Tian Shan Mountains of China, after which it is named. This is Gonbusaurus. Gonbu is the name of an ancient Chinese government office, once occupied by the poet Du Fu.
Archaeopteryx is still classified as a bird. But many experts now believe it evolved from a small carnivore. Some scientists think the arm may have evolved into a wing after certain feathered dinosaurs started using their feathers to flap flying insects toward their face. Camptosaurus was the first bipedal plant eater, or herbivore. It had a large groove in the middle of its lower jaw, which probably encased a long, nimble tongue. It must have used its tongue like a giraffe to scrape and tear leaves off branches. Without any doubt, the fiercest meat-eater of the Jurassic period was Allosaurus. Fossilized footprints of this carnivore show that it captured prey in teams of 2 or more. The tracks of a large sauropod fleeing an Allosaurus have been found in the United States. To make matters worse for its prey, the Allosaurus is thought to have been a good swimmer. Few plant eaters could have felt comfortable with Allosaurus around. Formerly known as Brontosaurus, this huge behemoth could ward off carnivores by its sheer size. But if assaulted by a meat-eater, it could wield its great tail as a weapon and crush opponents with its hind legs. This large herbivore, with 2 rows of upright plates on its back, is Stegosaurus. Previously, the plates were thought to be only for protection. But it is now thought they might have been actively employed as weapons, too. The spikes on the tail might have delivered the final blow. An often asked question is, what is the largest dinosaur to have ever walked the earth? These two dinosaurs usually top the list. The champion in length, Supersaurus, is on the left. It measured almost 140 feet from head to tail. Ultrasaurus, the weight champion, is on the right. It weighed more than 130 tons. However, a few recent fossil finds indicate even larger dinosaurs may have once lived. Brachiosaurus is best known for its long body that glides smoothly from head to tail. Brachiosaurus means arm reptile, and as its name suggests, it had tremendously long front legs. Because of its unique figure, it may have been able to feed on leaves near the ground or in trees as high as 30 feet, simply by moving its head.
Dicryosaurus is a diplodocid too, but with a shorter neck and tail than the typical diplodocus.
This is the Ceratosaurus. The distinctive feature of this dinosaur is the unique horn on its nose. The males may have used their horns to fight among themselves during the mating season. In spite of its size, Ceratosaurus was very agile. It may have been able to stand on its tail and kick an enemy with its rear legs.
This is Probactrosaurus. It is said to be an iguanodontid. but its skull resembles that of the hadrosaur.
This is Psittacosaurus. It ate plants by tearing them with its parrot-like beak. In fossils found in Mongolia, large numbers of pebbles were located in the animal's stomach area. The small stones may have helped it digest the plants it ate. Baryonyx is a new type of carnivorous dinosaur found in England in 1983. It had huge carved claws on its front legs, and its skull bore striking similarities in shape to that of a crocodile. Fish scales were found in its stomach. Baryonyx probably caught fish with its hooked claws. Baryonyx is a new type of
This is Craterosaurus. A stegosaurid, it is believed to have survived the longest of all stegosaurids on any of the continents.
In 1878, the fossils of 39 iguanodons were found in a single site at the Dinosaur mines in Belgium. Why so many in one spot? A herd of iguanodons fleeing from carnivores may have fallen over a cliff. Among the smaller fossils was one large specimen, probably the male who had been in charge of a harem of females. This dinosaur may have used the spike on its forelimb as a weapon. Deinonychus wasn't very large, but for many herbivorous dinosaurs, it may have been the most fearsome enemy of all. It was very intelligent and attacked animals in packs like wolves. No animal could beat a pack of dinosaurs, all armed with sharp claws on their hind feet.
This is Zephyrosaurus, one of the hypsilophodontids.
Hypsilophodon, a small herbivore, lived in herds very much like gazelles do today on the African savanna. These dinosaurs moved to new hunting grounds in huge herds, some probably standing guard, while the others grazed. When a carnivore approached, the guards probably warned the feeding herd by their actions or by making noises. Oranosaurus was a big herbivore with a large sail on its back. The sail was made of skin stretched over a skeleton of spines on the backbone, and blood vessels probably ran through it. The sail also acted like a sort of air conditioner in summer, as it could be exposed to cooling breezes.
This brachiosaurid, the Rabacosaurus, was more than 65 feet long.
Because of its shape, the small, flesh-eating Ornithomimus and its relatives were called ostrich dinosaurs. The largest of this group, as fast as an ostrich, was Gallimimus. In pursuit of prey, it could achieve speeds in excess of 50 miles per hour.
Tarbosaurus resembles Tyrannosaurus, but is somewhat smaller. Tarkia was the largest and longest surviving of the Asian ankylosaurs.
Homalocephaly is a herbivore belonging to the suborder Pachycephalosauria, or dome-headed reptiles. The skull is unusually flat and thick at the top. They may have established dominance by butting one another head to head. Sauornithoides and its relatives were highly developed meat eaters that appeared shortly before the end of the age of dinosaurs. It had a brain larger than any of the primitive mammals alive at the time. It also had large eyes and may have been able to see well at night, when mammals were most active. It must have been a great threat for our earliest ancestors. Velociraptor was an agile carnivore like Deinonychus that lived in Mongolia. Fossil remains of a velociraptor and protoceratops lost in combat were found in 1971 in the Great Gobi Desert. The two probably fought in a marshy swamp where they sank and died. A large number of protoceratops fossils, along with remains of their nests and eggs, were discovered by an American expedition in 1922. The eggs were elongated ovals about 5.5 inches long. About 20 were laid in each nest. It was this discovery that taught us that dinosaurs actually laid eggs in nests like birds or turtles. The parents probably guarded the nest very carefully. Dinosaurus is the most mysterious of all dinosaurs. The only fossil find to date is that of a single arm. To everyone's surprise, it was more than 8 feet in length, with a 2-foot-long claw at the end. If it had a body in proportion to its arm, it could be the largest carnivorous dinosaur the world has ever known. The name Oviraptor means egg stealer. It got its name when its remains were first found atop the nest and eggs of a Protoceratops. Oviraptor probably visited the nest while the parents were away, hoping to eat the insides of the unprotected eggs by biting or cracking them. Iguanodontids of the Lower Cretaceous period were replaced by hadrosaurs as the leading bipedal herbivore during the Upper Cretaceous period. This group has been found as far north as Alaska and the Arctic Circle. They may have survived harsh winters by eating the roots of water plants. They must also have seen the beautiful aurora borealis, the northern lights. This is a Maiasaura. The name means good mother reptile. Maiasaura formed groups that built nests on islands and lakes or on peninsulas jutting into the sea. For up to 2 years after birth, they cared for their young. The mother must have been very diligent in finding food for her babies. The discovery of the first Maiasaura nests proved conclusively that dinosaurs looked after their young. Nodosaurus was an armored dinosaur with bony knobs and plates covering its back. When attacked by a carnivore, it hid its limbs under the spikes on either side of its body and gripped the ground. In this position, few carnivores could ever hope to turn the nodosaur over. The most well-known, if not deadliest of the carnivores, was Tyrannosaurus, the tyrant lizard. With its great jaws and jagged teeth, Tyrannosaurus could attack almost any prey without fear. The smaller plant eaters were virtually defenseless against the assault of the 5-ton Tyrannosaurus. Ankylosaurs had the most powerful defensive system known. Its entire body was protected by bony plates and spikes. Some even had a bony covering over their eyelids. At the tip of its tail, Ankylosaur also had a heavy club with which it could smash at the feet of its attackers. Hadrosaurus and other dinosaurs of this type had an unusual bony protrusion on the skull. Parasaurolophus was another hadrosaur. The males had a large crest more than 3 feet long. Various opinions are given as to how the crest was used. One recent theory says that it may have allowed the male to amplify his mating call. Pachycephalosaurus lived in herds in mountainous regions. This Pachycephalosaurus skull was nearly 8 inches thick and highly resistant to strong shocks. They may have battered each other head-on while fighting for mate. When a herd of Triceratops were attacked by carnivores, the adults formed a circle around the young with their faces pointing out. Any carnivore would have had second thoughts about charging the 6-ton Triceratops with its sharp horns. This is the giant lizard of the sea, Mosasaurus. It moved into the world's shallow sea at the end of the Cretaceous period, driving out the plesiosaurs. The four limbs turned fully into fins. Swimming in an undulating motion, Mosasaurus could chase fish and ammonites. This is the dinosaur famed for its long neck. Its neck accounted for 26 feet of its 43-foot-long body and was very agile. Thanks to its great neck, Elasmosaurus could catch not only fish and ammonites, but birds and pterosaurs as well. The pteranodon evolved from the more primitive, long-tailed pterosaurs. Pteranodons built their nests atop high cliffs overlooking the ocean. From here, they could ride the wind currents while fishing for food. It was an animal much like the modern pelican or albatross.
This is a Bellosaurus, a carnivore belonging to the same group as Carnotaurus. This is Sequernosaurus, the only hadrosaur found in the southern hemisphere.
This is Carnotaurus. Carnotaurus means meat-eating bull and was so named because of the bull-like horns on its head. Like many other dinosaurs, male Carnotars may have clashed head-on while battling for mates. Sauropods, known as Titanosaurus, were a dominant group in the southern hemisphere during the Cretaceous period. Saltosaurus was one such sauropod. Its back was probably protected by plates against attack from most meat-eaters. A clumsy carnivore could have been pushed away by the powerful tail. The sail on the back of Spinosaurus was more than 6 feet tall. It served mainly to control body temperature, but may have been deployed as a display of strength too. Male spinosaurs may have determined their rank according to the size or color of their sails.
Extinction. Is it the final destiny from which no living thing can escape? Consider the fate of the dinosaurs. Although they once ruled the skies, seas, and lands of the earth, and even though their empire lasted for 160 million years, in the end, they were helpless to alter their destiny. Some 65 million years ago, during the late Cretaceous period, the dinosaurs suddenly disappeared from the face of the earth. Why did the dinosaur die out? What caused the extinction of some 60% of all life forms at that time, including dinosaurs? There are many theories that have been put forth to explain this great mystery. Some say the deaths were caused by the slow drifting of the continents and the resulting changes in the environment. Others argue that the entire planet experienced an immense series of volcanic eruptions. Vast amounts of ash and harmful gases were thrown into the atmosphere. The clouds of gas and ash encircled the Earth, cutting off sunlight to the surface below and lowering temperatures worldwide. Plant life was decimated worldwide. The presence of the rare element iridium at this time, blown from the bowels of the planet, is thought to be proof of the mass eruptions. But another argument says the iridium arrived from outer space. According to this theory, a giant meteorite measuring 6 miles in diameter struck the Earth a terrible blow. But the effect was the same as if many volcanoes had erupted all at once. The explosion hurled enormous quantities of dust and vapor into the upper stratosphere, blocking sunlight and threatening all life on the planet. But there are scientists who think the extinction of the dinosaurs was gradual, that they died out over millions of years rather than in one immense catastrophe. While the continents were all a single landmass, the majority of life evolved within a temperate climate. But the continents gradually drifted apart. By the Cretaceous period, they fell under the spell of the changing seasons, including winter. And many species were unable to adapt to the new cold climate. Which theory is correct? Or did the dinosaurs die from another cause altogether? Or from a combination of many causes? This may be the eternal question to which we will never have an ultimate answer. What we do know, however, is that we humans are here because, for whatever unknown reason or reasons, the dinosaurs did die out. Some species thrive and flourish then, while others seem doomed to extinction. As a once successful life form, the dinosaurs have now vanished from the face of the planet. But in a way, they still live on, only in another form. Now, they live in our minds.